the camera. Give it off, down.
Give it. You know, every once in a while you come across a movie that just surprises you. You're sitting there not expecting anything fantastic, but then you realize halfway through that you're actually having a great time. Ronin was that kind of movie for me. It came out just 2 years after the emphatically enjoyable Mission Impossible, and the trailer for it made it seem like little more than a Mission Impossible wannabe. To be fair, the film isn't really something you can sum up in clips, but the trailer still does a great job at making the film seem like just another mundane mid-90s action movie.
He was hired to lead a mission.
This is what we're after.
To recover a package that some are willing to die for.
Get in the car!
Which is too bad, because this movie is one of the best heist films to be made in the last 2 decades, and there have been a lot of those. It's also a fitting cap to the careers of John Frankenheimer and Robert De Niro. Yes, De Niro is still making movies nowadays, but I choose to think of Ronin as the end of his real career, before he started making stuff like Showtime and Rocky and Bullwinkle. And it's a movie I'd be proud to end my career. With a great script by David Mamet, who worked pseudonymously because he would have been forced to share credit otherwise, everyone involved in this production turned in some of their best work, from Sean Bean to Stellan Skarsgård to Jean Reno. The core of the film revolves around one of the most pure examples of a MacGuffin you'll ever see in a film: a briefcase carrying something. Nobody really knows what. All we know is that the 5 men assembled to retrieve the briefcase are very good at what they do, with the possible exception of Bean's character, who's boastful and desperate to be accepted. He's soon fired, however, leaving the remaining 4 Ronin to plot and plan a way to retrieve the case. What do? Well, it involves guns, and cars, and other manly things. It's really the cars part of that equation that makes the film such a blast to watch. In the era of CGI, we're not likely to see car chases like this again, with the actual actors in actual cars doing things that are actually dangerous. Rear projection and green screen techniques have gotten pretty damn good, but it's still easy to tell the difference when a filmmaker is willing to strap a camera to a car hood and go to town. They even used former Formula 1 pros as stunt drivers. Nowhere is that more true than in the film's final car chase, a 6-minute affair through the streets of Paris, and oh my god, is it ever beautiful. So many car chases nowadays feel sterile and overly safe, but Frankenheimer goes to great lengths to convince you that people are constantly on the cusp of dying, whether their motorcycles are getting hit or if they're weaving in and out of head-on traffic. The lack of music is a wonderful touch here, as we're left listening to 3 or 4 minutes of nothing but screeching tires and straining engines. To my eyes, there has never been a better car chase committed to film. Above and beyond the chases and the gunfire though, Mamet's script is, if not as eruptive as some of his more showy films, then certainly among the best of his works for hire. De Niro's character has a number of clever one-liners that help establish him as a man who's been around the block.
Who and how many are going to be coming after us?
You worried about saving your own skin?
Yeah, I am. Covers my body.
But a lot of what makes the movie tick are what characters don't say to each other. Their backstories were obviously developed but left unsaid, leaving a lot of interesting interactions between the bunch that rely on a kind of workmanlike argot that you're left to interpret on your own.
Thank you.
That's a technique that Mamet has used in a lot of interesting ways in movies like Spartan, and I especially like the way that De Niro and Reno's characters recognize early on that Bean is not to be taken seriously. They share a lot of knowing looks when thinking about a man who could get them killed until De Niro decides to force the issue and ensure that he's removed from the group.
It's a simple diagram. Just draw it again. Draw what you saw. Draw it again! 2 shooters. Car comes through here. Shooters across from each other. Kill each other dead. Oh my, where'd you learn that? Huh? Do something.
If this movie just had great car chases or just had great dialogue, then it would have been pretty good. The combination of the two makes this an unassuming movie that overwhelmingly exceeded my expectations. And if you haven't seen it, I assure you that it'll exceed yours as well. So please do track down Ronin and check out this latest entry into Screen's series of Besties.